that we found, and now we're right back into all the action. So looking forward to see what's coming out here, Fog.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that, and looking forward to my mic blowing out people's ear, apparently. It's still doing that thing that it does.
It was fine this time, though, to be fair, when we came back from our little mini break. You sound beautiful, sir.
As long as I just don't get too excited, because that's what happens. I think there's something about my, like, the limit that I can reach, that I get too excited and things go crazy. I'll try to keep myself calm for everybody here. You know, I do love me some Dota, so it's a little tough sometimes in those big fights.
I don't think anyone will fault you if you get too excited. I think we all feel those moments for sure.
Just their ears might fault me, but that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. You can grow new ones or something, right? I'm excited, though. How are these lanes going to work out? Because like we said, we've got some weird positions coming out here from the side of Spider Pigz.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really wondering how this bottom lane's going to go out. I quite like this Tusk plus Pango. The Pango, I feel like he's going to be able to get a good amount down here because he's versus this double melee. He should be able to work around it decently. Mid, I feel like Noob will come out ahead, but I don't feel like he can actually just like kill and push out the Mars at all. Mars should be able to farm pretty decently. And top, it all depends on if they have the sentry in lane, I feel like, for the most part, which they do. I feel like if they do have that sentry, Spider Pig should be pretty decent up there with their spam. Because another thing is, Shadow Shaman got, in my opinion, buffed pretty heavily, because not only do you have this crazy base damage that you always have had, you got more int now. They, you know, changed it so that you have the same damage, but you have a crazy amount of mana to spam inside the laning phase.
Definitely feels good. And of course, they've got those sentries. Come on now.
Of course.
Of course they do. These guys are ready.
They gotta keep it alive, though, you know? I'm seeing this Grimstroke. He's got his ready, so they will get that D ward ASAP.
A little bit of body blocking down here from LeBron as he's doing the best he can to try to harass over here, but does need to be careful, like you said. That is a potent combo with this Pangolier and the Tusk.
Yeah, and I don't know what LeBron can really do to kind of secure the Voids the lane much. I guess he just has to kind of stand there and soak the pressure. I mean, Thugito should be able to get a decent amount of last hits down here anyway.
It's weird to see the name Thugito instead of just regular Thug, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm back in South American Dota there for a moment.
That is very true.
Yeah, pretty sure there is like a Thugito somewhere.
Yeah, probably.
But some pressure here pushing forward with the wave. Again, not too much they can really do to Thugito. He's just going to be able to time walk off. But LeBron, you know, he's just kind of that big tanky meat shield, throwing himself in the way half the time and then trying to pull lanes or whatnot.
Yeah, they both can start threatening at this level too. Zipzapper just has to be careful of those bashes. Once the Tusk gets to, they can start posing kill threat mostly onto LeBron, onto the Brewmaster, but they can threaten the Void if he does make a, he does misstep at all here because of this Orb of Venom and all that.
I don't think he's going to go too overly aggressive, though, especially when you consider what his lane looks like.
Yeah, he should be playing it a little bit more careful. He did purchase an Orb of Venom, though, on the Faceless Void, as we say that, which is kind of like he's going for that aggression. So.
Yeah, I like it, though. I definitely like it. I know Thug usually kind of likes to sit back a little bit, like he likes to sit back and farm with a lot of his heroes, but I'm not sure if this is necessarily the time to get that aggressive, Thug.
Yeah. I mean, this definitely feels like one of those games, though, where we're going to be seeing ultimates nonstop, right? It's not going to be like they need to get a 5-man Chronosphere to win the fights. I could just look at their lineup. It's everyone's going to be throwing out their ultimates a lot, too. So I feel like he might go toward that more aggressive stance for himself to go for those kills inside the Chrono.
That makes sense. Definitely an ultimate-heavy team, though, for sure.
Yeah. Up top.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit of damage over here onto this Grimstroke. He's got the Ink Swell on him. He's going to try to stun up DNZ, but he's got to go down first. DNZ's got that little bug on him here. He's trying to get away. Not going to be able to do it as Low Skill gets himself a kill. He's going to get himself a double here. Fairy Fire gets popped by Mitch, and that is one happy bug.
Good old the Swarm. Sure, your support dies, but that minus armor builds up. Weaver can come in, get that nice little double kill, and it's just more beneficial for him because Grimstroke now TPs to the lane with probably a bunch of his items.
Got that bottle delivery service. Waterboy DNZ here, coming in hot.
Oh, I was saying that he was going to... Actually,
let's hold on to that thought 1 second. Mars is getting held into place. Hit the follow-up, though, from the Grimstroke. Will push them back, but Noob grabbing up that Resurgence. Pretty happy. Used a couple of those bottle charges, and is going to be able to poke away here at a couple of these heroes. Bottom lane, too. It looks like Zipzapper's got himself in a little bit of trouble. Maybe just too aggressive there with that swashbuckle, because he does fall to Thugito. So, that aggression, it's paying off.
Yeah. That Orb of Venom definitely paying off and just seizing the moment when the Tusk and the Grimstroke both go toward the mid lane. They look to make an aggressive move down there. Mitch getting aggressive up top. We see DNZ's gonna connect. They have the sentry down too. Uh-oh, Weaver.
Ooh, this is not looking good for the Weaver. DNZ's here, gets those shackles off. Spirit Siphon, couple more clicks, and the Swarm will be able to take him down. Not his Swarm, but the Crypt Swarm, of course.
Oof. And now the, what I was going to say before, where the Grimstroke was going to TP top with the, I think, the full finished items of that Weaver. Because he TP'd mid, Weaver didn't get those items top, and now actually dies. So happens sometimes. He was just trying to bail out his mid laner because of all the aggression around that 4-minute rune.
Makes sense. But 5-minute runes are up. Got a couple of them bottled now. I think we're going to start to see, hopefully, a little bit more aggression here. In fact, as we say that in the top lane, low skill going after Mitch. Doesn't look like they want a hard commit on it, though. He's going to be able to walk away, but lost a lot of hit points during all of that.
Oh, cool. Okay, he's going to be going for the, it looks like the Falcon Blade on the Weaver. I was wondering what he was going to be building toward with all this. A little bit of a different kind of pickup here.
Do you like it? Because it sounds like you're intrigued at the very least.
Unsure at the moment still. Item just got buffed up pretty significantly. 0.2 more mana regen, 25 health. So I'm fine with seeing people try it.
It's a good rotation here in the top lane. They'll be able to collect themselves a support kill. But on the flip side of that, they know Zip Saber, he's alone here. Gets a couple of these bashes. Needs to go and no, he's actually all right thanks to that that time walk. But that was a little scary. Those lucky shot procs. Oof.
Still the most frustrating ability in the game to play against, for sure. It's up there with Bash. Nice moves coming out. I like seeing this. I like seeing how active. It might be hurting Zip Zapper a little bit, but I like seeing how active the Tusk is being at the moment. I think he has some really good plays that he can make. Whenever you're playing with a ranged hero that has, I mean, mostly just with any ranged hero, but with Weaver in particular, your tag team's just so damn good. And it's such easy kills top. If the lane's pushed up at all, Mitch and DNZ are just food for this Weaver from any rotation of the Tusk. So I want to see him keep playing around that area. Just let your Pango do his own thing. The guy's got 800 games. He'll recover. Even if he has a little bit of a tough time, he knows what he's doing on the Pango.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure that he can manage on his own with the amount of games that he does have. But do you see a smoke coming out from the side of Spider Pigz? Noob and DNZ looking to get some retribution here, because that top lane, like you said, has been pretty easy pickings when you have the rotation with the Tusk.
Oh, they break the smoke a little bit there.
They know they're there. It's DNZ cutting through the trees. He's thinking about it. Need to push forward that wave just a little bit more, I think. Mitch throwing out the Crypt Swarm. They'll get the D ward off. Looks like maybe they just want to put this pressure down. Look at these two supports. They're practically kissing over here in the trees. They just have no idea how close they are.
Both teams just waiting for the other one to make the move. The Tusk is waiting. He doesn't have the... He's saving a skill point for Snowball, too.
Well, here it goes. All right, the opening up over onto Death Prophets. There's the Snowball with the silence, and that is a dead Mitch.
He's food. As soon as he it's like this threshold, you can say, and they were very aware of where the puck's positioning was. That was very nicely set up there by Meta4Pro. And during all this, too, the Mars is getting all that far mid because the puck was missing. He's up to now level 8. Yeah, a really good start for them right now at the moment.
Oh, and a double damage earned for his bottle. Everything's turning up Mars here. Zactyl, I think is how you pronounce that.
I'm kind of just reluctant on pronouncing most of their names because I don't want to butcher them. Right. Most of them look pretty hard for me to pronounce properly.
We'll do the best. I'm sure they'll complain. I'm sure we'll hear in Twitch chat too. Dreamcoil gets confused though. Here over onto the Pangolier. He's leashed up. This is not looking very good for him. He's trying to just buy himself a little bit more time, but the Illusory Orb comes through, and it looks like this Tusk is just going to have to run away.
Nicely set up. Coil's always going to be, I mean, just looking at the draft that he's playing, it's going to be their nemesis. The Weaver, the Pango, even Mars, Grimstroke, Tusk. Tusk can't even play well versus it to save people because you're rooted. You know, you can't actually get the Snowball off to protect people inside of it unless you do it from outside. So it can definitely be a big counter to the majority of this Meta4Pro lineup. If he gets down to the point with an Aghanims later too, he hard counters the Pango. So.
Oh dear, they go and they pop the Exorcism for this, but it doesn't matter because it's just so easy to get these kills. The follow-up, now you got the Zapper top, he'll go use the Rolling Thunder and he'll stun up this Death Prophet. These ghostly ladies are beautiful, but is it going to be enough? They're going to try to get the kill over onto the Grimstroke. It's not looking like they're going to be able to do it. This Death Prophet is just dead, and the Exorcism is now down. The Brawn TPing top here, you can see that they're trying to get the silence off. It's a good spear though coming out here from the Mars. The Shield Bash comes through, gets the kill on Noob, And now they're just holding this poor Tusk into place here. He's gonna go down. There's the Chronosphere coming out from Thug. But does he have enough damage? Are they gonna be able to do enough? They're not. In fact, they turn this right back around again. And that's one dead Faceless Void.
Uh-oh, things just turned up real quick there. The whole team of the Dire shows up top with that DD Mars, who has such good kill threat on anybody there when he does have it. And Void, you look at his build, he's gone for full greedy, 1-1-4. So as soon as he time walks in, he cannot time walk out. And he's just stuck in a really bad positioning, and they're gonna get what looks like 4 bounties now after that.
And they're gonna get themselves a nice little kill here with that double damage there. Dream Coil gets used over on the bottom rune spot. This is a dead Grimstroke, for sure. And a nice bounty rune.
Okay, so they won't get all 4 bounty runes. It'll be 3, at least for the side of Meta4Pro, but still big hits there. And now it's a coil used on the 5 position. So now the Weaver can feel a lot safer making any aggressive move or even pressuring the mid tower because there's no coil. That is the big one. And I mean, pretty much all their ults are down, actually. So mid tower gonna get sieged.
That is a very important tower, too. You definitely don't want to let that just go down like that. But again, we talked about them being very ultimate dependent, and a lot of these ults were on the cooldown. So, you know, they're putting forward a good face here. They're saying, you know, we don't want to just give this up, but they do have to be a little worried. See Zip Zapper thinking about going into place here. They end up getting the denial on the tower at the very least, but that is, you know, a crucial tower to be losing this early in the game.
Especially when you have limited ways to actually push towers until your Shadow Shaman hits 6. I mean, they have the Exorcism, but from what we've seen from Mitch, if he goes to set up for an Exorcism, he's too squishy. 1,000 HP at this point in the game, he's just going to die in every single one of these occasions. So getting these towers down seems like it's going to be pretty difficult for the side of Spider Pigz, even with this natural push in them. Because Meta4Pro, they're ready to fight again. Look at this. He can probably set up for top. Zip Zapper is ready. He's got his ult, and they're already rotating the Tusk and the Grimstroke.
It's just such a nice combo, too, whenever you even see, like, the Weaver being placed up there, having that Ink Swell on him, just a guaranteed, like, how fast you move. But they will go and commit those Serpent Wards here for the top tower. Okay. LeBron does get caught out over here on the side. They do manage to go and throw down the Dream Coil, but Zip Zapper is just going to start rolling on out. They use the split, so they are going to end up losing their support. Zip Zapper, though, probably going to be able to just roll on out. The stone's going to connect, though, over onto the Tusk. This does not feel like he's going to be able to make it out. Zip Zapper, he's trying, does have that snowball. He's going to go down here to the low ground, but the follow from Noob, he's just too fast, too slippery. And he's going to go and be able to take down the Tusk.
Nicely done. Get themselves the kill, get the tower 2 up top. Weaver will get a nice trade bottom. Low skill will be able to get that one. And I'm just going to say Mars. Mars is getting closer to his death, so we got a good amount of farm in the mid lane out of it, too. So some decent trade for them.
Yeah, I was looking at the Tusk's name, too. I think it's like Kepta... I don't see the name now, but... Yeah, Kepta Guides? I don't know.
I'm going to butcher all of them.
I'm not sure, but... I feel bad, though, you know? They've made it all the way here.
I know.
I feel like they deserve to have their names being used. Well, even if they're very poorly... they're horribly butchered.
My man, Grimstroke is just going to be Love. I like that. I like calling that.
Love? Oh, that is nice.
He's got Love at the end there.
It's a good little
they're setting up
thing.
right now on the Thugito.
I don't know if they're going to be able to really pin him down. In fact, yeah, look at this. Thug, he's leaving.
Oh?
The Spidey Pig sense was tingling there.
Yeah, he jumps the safe way too, and he's got the backup of his teammates near, who all pretty much have their ults except for the Bruce Split. They're going to bring the puck down to try to push them out. They know where this... Yeah, they put a ward down. They saw the Mars.
All right. Well, let's see if they're successful in being able to pick off anyone as they go over here. Looks not, though. Radiant's bottom tower. It's a lot of rotation, though, to try to clear out their own jungle.
And there we have the Maelstrom. So pretty farmed up already on the Weaver. Both of his farming items are actually just complete now, and he's going to go back. It looked like for a defensive item, and then he switches immediately to a Mjolnir. He's going just very squishy, especially versus so many different forms of catch. He's going to just be relying on his teammates to protect him, because like we said, this Weaver, this game, there's so many different forms of disable versus him and so many different forms of silence. But he wants to just go for the damage.
It makes you wonder if this is just, you know, if it's a case like, I totally trust my team's going to have my back, or is it just, you know, pride sort of thing where you're like, I don't worry about this, it'll be fine.
I think maybe he's just wanting just to be this incredible damage dealer and just keep up in the farm and pushing the waves out. But they also have the Mars, he has a Desolator finished up, so I don't know if damage is really going to be their issue too much inside of the fights. This Mars, and also he has a DD again, so we're going to be looking at exactly. What did I say exactly?
Exactly.
And he's just going to own in this next fight probably because of this.
Yeah, he is a large lad, as we say.
Yeah. There it is. Yeah, Deso DD level 12. Pretty big power spike timing.
15
Nope, Mitch
coming up. Looks like Mitch was hoping he could get that bounty room, but instead he's going to get a world of hurt. Although Noob in the backside here does manage to go get the Dream Coil off. They'll pin them up together. This Rolling Thunder coming in hot. They're looking to finally finish off the Death Prophet. Looks like they're going to be able to. Noob, though, is going to be able to walk away from this engagement, as you do have a split in the bottom lane as they're jumping over on the Weaver. And there's going to be the follow-up here from Zactyl. He's looking, he's got the arena, and this little puck is definitely dead. But while this is all going on, Pigzs, he finds the kill on low skill. And like you said, he's squishy. He's going for damage. And they just have a lot of ways to lock him down. Speaking of lockdown, though, DNZ says, oh, I really do not want this. But he even drops the Serpent Wards. And they're just very pleased to get that on Meta4Pro. A little bit more gold in their pockets and another ultimate on cooldown.
How much did that Rebuke do? That was like 90% of his HP in one hit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see that hopeful shackle of just like, maybe someone will show up in time to help me? Maybe I can put some more damage on him.
Now they don't have the Serpent Wards too for this fight around the pit, and they're going to kill this pretty quick.
They don't
all the
have
minus armor they have the Lucky Shot, the Death Blow, the Weaver is coming over.
They have Exorcism and that's it for their ultimates currently.
Yeah, Coil's up in 8, so it's still a little scary for Meta4Pro to fight around here. A Coil would really devastate them, as we said. It counters majority of their lineup, so they have to back away, give some respect. But we see what the opportunity that they can go for. If they get like 1 or 2 kills, or they waste a couple ultimates of that Spider Pigz draft, they can immediately go into that Roshan. They're looking for the opportunity. They're setting up already.
Feels like they're baiting here. They'll find Noob over here in the mid lane, stun him up, follow up with a snowball and a spear. So there is no more Dream Coil that they need to worry about. Still have that Exorcism online though, so looks like they're going to go right back into that Roche pit. No Serpent Wards for another 40-something seconds. And I'm not sure what some of these other cooldowns look like. They're just going to have the split in about 30. They want to go in there. They want to pressure, but I don't think they're going to be able to. Shards get thrown out. Mitch is on the outside throwing out that Crypt Swarm.
It is a 5-man.
A little bit. Okay. We have a little bit of a zoning ultimate here from the Mars.
Oh, they need to commit now.
They need to commit. Zip Saber's so low. All right, there it is. Low skill picks up the Aegis. There it is. There's that Exorcism we talked about. This Weaver, he just can't stay alive long enough, so the Aegis immediately going to get burned. As the rest of the team now moving over to the high ground, the Hex, the lockdown is completely there. Like I said, they even go for the split on top of it, just to make sure that they kill the Weaver.
Sure, why not? I mean, it's a Brewmaster 5. So just any split you can use, and they're continuing.
They're still going. They know that they don't have that Weaver. In fact, the Mars being held into place is silenced with that Spirit Siphon. Lots of these ghostly ladies dancing around. They'll be able to take down Zactyl. And now it looks like Pigzs is going to be left alone. Nice shards, but not quite enough. Oh, he's got the snowball by him. Just a little bit more time, but he's definitely dead.
Huge fights for Radiant, and that is the perfect place for them to really fight around that Roche pit, as we said, with all these ults. And now, I mean, Chronosphere's back online, Serpent Wards are coming back too. So yeah, this plethora of ults that they have at their arsenal is perfect. And also the Weaver making a pretty big mistake there. Running into them directly with Shukuchi, then immediately time-lapsing and just getting grabbed by the Rasta, grabbed by the Shadow Shaman.
It's definitely not the way that they wanted that to go. And it felt like a lot of just kind of back and forth, like they couldn't make up their minds. And eventually, you know, you did say that they needed to just full-on commit. But do you think they just took maybe too much time?
I mean, the Mars ult missing is a huge blunder, because if he just holds on to a little bit there, they can secure and just use that to defensively get out. He tried to make the aggressive move while also, so they split themselves up a little bit too much there. And yeah, Spider Pigz completely capitalized on it because, like we said, their heroes just naturally are good versus this Meta4Pro carry in particular. That Weaver is always going to get hard lockdown, especially from DNZ's build. He has the 4 points in the Hex, so it's going to make that game always really hard for that mobile core.
It'll only get harder as it goes on, too. Once the Shadow Shaman picks up the Blink Dagger, it's just going to be instantly just locked down. So need to see some sort of defensive item, I think, coming out for this Weaver.
Yeah, I think Brian was saying I didn't get to hear at the end there, but like the S and Y Lincolns or something like that, just anything to kind of protect him. He's gonna go for this BKB, but that only protects him so much. And if they go for these BKBs and stuff like this, it's just gonna raise how much more valuable that Puck Aghanims is gonna be, because he's already gonna go for it in this game versus that Pango probably. If they start getting these BKBs early, he'll just raise the priority on it.
That does pose a very big problem for them. We'll have to see.
Still very close so far, though. We're actually like dead even in this game. 11 to 14, gold and experience.
Well, I was interested too, you know, we talk about how they made these couple of mistakes, right, coming out from Meta4Pro. Is that also, you know, the experience of Spider Pigz? They've played together for quite a while now. Is that just one of those things? Because, you know, Meta4Pro, more or less I don't want to say a pub stack, but, you know, they don't have the same experience of playing together as some of these guys. Is that going to be something that, you know, they just have to keep considering? Is that you can't make these mistakes. You can't, you know, go so hard on them because they're going to punish you, and they do have a little bit more of that experience as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it may be like, I don't know who the full shot caller is either, but when I'm seeing like 5 heroes in the pit full committing, it's always a bit of a, no one's standing outside, no one's like scouting, stuff like that. I usually don't see like, you know, your team's like Secret OG. They'll usually have like one person lingering on the outside. They don't usually just full commit 5 stacks in the pit, because that can just be disastrous, so.
Indeed it was.
They're still in an okay spot, though, like we were saying. They're still very, very close, and now they've got the Tusk Blink, which is one of those alleviators versus all this crazy amount of team fight. He can actually save his bodies now versus the coil and versus all these annoying silences and disables.
That's definitely going to be a high priority for Tusk there. We are almost completed with that BKB over on the Weaver, but like you said, that does up the priority for the Puck Aghanims.
Yeah, he's actually going for a BKB himself on the Puck this game. A bit interesting there, I guess. Just
the silences, perhaps, just being afraid.
Silences, and I mean the Soulbind I saw messed with him a little bit up top before, but this isn't going to help if you're leashed anyway.
Yeah.
If you're the secondary leash target, so I'm a little curious about why he is going for that.
Well, he's definitely scared of something if he's picking it up that way. So.
Yeah.
BKB completed now for the Weaver. So.
And for the Void. So we do see the smoke coming out from the side of Spider Pigz first, as they have all of their ultimates available. Separate wards in 10. And it looks like Dire, looks like Meta4Pro is about to meet up in smoke as well. I just saw Grimstroke. Love moved it into his bag, so they're trying to get together and look for their own play. Yeah, Blink also on the Pango, so lots of different forms of initiation now on both sides.
I think it's going to come down to who can get the initiation on too. Although I would say definitely Spider Pigz has the advantage if they do get initiated on, as long as it's not the Void, right? They can kind of reinitiate with that Chronosphere and just reset.
Ooh, another DD top. If Exacto can find that, he'll be very happy. And he also has his BKB finish too. And yeah, he gets the DD. So now I would give a bit of a favor toward the Dire here, just because of these 2 BKBs compared to the 1. All is going to be depending on how that fight gets taken.
Looks like they're going to try to make a play here for this top tier 1. I can see a couple people over here on the side too as they're pushing out the waves. DNZ's got to be very careful. In fact, immediately Walrus Punch. This is looking like a very disappointing. Although the Hex does come off here, but they have the Inkswell to follow up. They stun up the Faceless Void. That is a little bit scary right now. Doesn't look like they want a full commit though. Nuke though popping. Oh, there it is, double BKB, but it doesn't matter because they're all held together. Followed up though with that Chronosphere, and they've got the Exorcism running, plus the wards over on the side. They've used pretty much everything here, but they're not getting the success that they really want. They lose Mitch. The gate also going to go down. And all of this just because the Shadow Shaman got jumped on. They're still looking for anything that they can get, but they hold with the bars. Bars still has the arena going. He's just going to go right here over after LeBron. That position 5, Brewmaster never stood a chance. And now low skill. He's a speedy little buck. He's a speedy chicken too as he's chasing after DNZ. They've got the snowball. They're going to make a special delivery and take down DNZ.
Good. Such a good move there by Meta4Pro, and just Radiant not expecting this at all. The way they set up, they put themselves in position with the 2 supports on this high ground with this ward, covering it nicely, get themselves another advantage, and that chaos happens, but they're able to get their BKB off. BKBs are popped. Sure, Chrono goes down, but the BKBs are there. They're immune to most of that damage. I see the Exorcism kind of tickling them a bit there, but yeah, they're too durable at this point if they get that magic immunity off versus this lineup.
Well, it looks like they'll end up losing the Grimstroke again here, but
okay.
I think you're perfectly okay with that because you're putting damage over on the tower. And Mitch is just kind of wandering. He's very far forward here without Ooh, yeah, look at this. Zip Zapper says, oh, I would love to take this. Thank you. Chase off, followed with a nice spear, and down goes Mitch.
I'm surprised he went for finish. I'm surprised he went for finishing this Eternal Shroud. It's pretty expensive to go for the finish up. It gives you all these nice kind of stats and everything, but I feel like it's not going to protect him in this game. There's a lot of magic damage, but if he gets caught in a spear, this isn't going to help him. He's just going to die. I feel like he just needed to rush a BKB as well this game as this core death prophet, rather than going for just magic resistance. Because, I mean, he spent so much gold on this item, and I feel like that's going to do pretty much nothing for him.
Definitely does not feel great, especially when you consider all of those ultimates that just got popped for that one fight, and it did not go the way of Spider Pigz. But that's the BKB now here, the stat on the screen. Pretty fast. Again, they are rushing these BKBs though, which is not typically usual.
Yeah, we got to see that a little bit yesterday too. I saw the priority of BKB just rising more so because of just how important it is versus some of these massive team fighters like these Pangos, these Pucks, these Brews, and all that. It just seems like the BKB is starting to... I mean, it all depends on what region you're in, of course, because China's always going to be one that builds it early, but I've seen a lot of these EU teams buying it very early on now.
Oh boy, oh Mitch, the Yules is out. The arena is down. They're waiting for that spear right into the wall, plus some bugs and a big shield right there. Well, they don't have to look rough. The Death Prophet. Yes, it is. Down for 40-something seconds. They're knocking on the base over there. Well, they'll back off a little bit and they'll focus over on the tier 2, but it's definitely, I don't think this is how they envision this going, Fogged.
No, they're getting so much on the map for Meta4Pro, and like we said, the overabundance of ultimates on the side of Spider Pigz. They have all of them up, but I feel like they needed to be using them like constantly at every single frequency, and they kind of have been, but they've just been met by Meta4Pro every time. They've just been prepared, and I mean, this Mars is an absolute monster. 6-1 and 7. Exactals had a pretty flawless game. Sure, his ulti maybe 1 or 2 times was off the mark, but he's been that frontliner for his team, just leading the charge.
Well, that's exactly what he needs to be. You know, we talk about the fact that this Weaver is, in fact, a glass cannon, but he does have some beefy people to stand in front, and usually it's going to be Zactal, just throwing his body forward, whether, you know, again, he missed a couple of the arenas, but when it comes down to it, he's dishing out the damage, and he's also just providing that bodyguard status in a sense too, especially when you have a Tusk who can just snowball and either save or, in this case, he's been delivering the Weaver half the time right to his target.
Yeah. And now it's getting to the point where I don't really think that this Radiant draft, these Spider Pigz draft, is going to have the damage to deal with a lot of these heroes. Like, this is a 2100 HP Mars. Weaver is going to be sitting at like 2400 when he has Scotty finished.
Ooh, LeBron?
And LeBron.
Going to try to run away, but the rest of the team is here. Inkswell plus the spear, and Zactal's just having the time of his life today. He's living like a god.
Appropriate for the Mars.
I'm glad you caught that.
Hey, I got to try. You know, when I'm working with Owen, Owen says some stuff that goes right over my head, and then I realize 10 minutes later he said some nice little pun.
Owen is, I love the fact that he is just so, like, clever with his phrasing.
He's always waiting for the opportunity. He has them in his pocket somewhere.
Be interested to see those pockets. But yeah, the Weaver was thinking he could get a fast pickoff on DNZ here, but look how speedy this little chicken is. Joe's right back in again. He's thinking about trying to get the kill. And again, they have that Scotty up and running. They'll follow up with the Dream Quad, but I think they just want to disengage here. They're considering it because in comes Big Boy Zactal, and he sees Thug. He wants this as he's going to chase after DNZ. They drop the Serpent Wards. Oh, but there it is. There's the Chrono. So it looks like they're finally going to be able to take down a couple of these heroes. In fact, they do get Zactal. There's the Exorcism going on. They also managed to go and pop the Aegis. But now with all of these ultimates blown, I don't know. They're going to go right back in again, though. They've got their eyes on this Weaver. He's trying desperately to get away from these wards, but he's not going to be able to. In fact, those ghostly ladies chase him down, as now it looks like this Grimstroke love. He's not feeling the love right now. He's feeling a lot of hate. It's a triple kill for Mitch.
Beautiful chrono by Thugito, catching all of them there. Pre-BKB also on the Mars is the important thing. So Mars is taking way too much damage, unable to get the cheese in and pop it in time too. That is exactly what Spider Pigz needed to come back in this one. And now Mitch pretty much has a full BKB finished after that for his Death Prophet, so I was a little worried for him, but they're fully caught up now after this one fight. And that now we actually get to see all the ults coming together very appropriately.
Yeah, it's nice to finally see that because it always felt like Meta4Pro was getting these initiations and they somehow managed to, I don't know if they got lucky or what's going on there, but Oh, that's a different game. But yeah, it always felt like they somehow managed to have Void kind of wander in and they would get stunned up, or they would end up, you know, being able to drop like some sort of silence or anything like that where he just couldn't do anything and they just immediately blew him up, because that was the whole purpose of the fact that, you know, you have a faceless Void who can reinitiate, but if he's the one not necessarily being initiated upon, but ends up stumbling into the initial fight and then just getting taken out early, it's so hard to be able to get back in there again.
Yeah, it's like a lot of the times I feel like they were just kind of one, like you said, one by one kind of trickling in and all that. This one, it's all 5 of them fighting together. They get all their ults on the same exact positioning pretty much, and it's all of Meta4Pro running into it. So yeah, we see that again here of everything connecting just perfectly. You see the Serpent Wards on the outside of the Chrono beating on absolutely everybody. The Orb connects on everyone. Siphons at Mitch in a perfect position. You couldn't have asked for better really for Spider Pigz there.
I think they're very lucky, too, the fact that DNZ was able to actually drop those wards this time around before he got blown up as well. So, like you said, just being able to have all of those ultimates available instead of, you know, one person getting picked off right off that. But the flip side of this, Fox, is now they've used all of these ultimates, right? I mean, Puck, Stream Coil, that's a fairly low cooldown. But now they're going for this push, and they can just kind of re-engage again if they want a Meta4Pro because they have such a skirmishy kind of setup.
Yeah, I feel like you should like hard disengage and just farm out the map right now. Get prepared for the 30-minute bounty runes. Get yourself some better vision down, because right now they don't really have any aggressive vision. And I see LeBron literally hitting the mid wave with the only wards on his team. So I would have, yeah, I mean, they had a couple better options that they could have done with the last few moments of just securing the map control for the further few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But they're in a comfortable spot. As long as they reset, they don't lose too many heroes. Because Grim is going to respawn. I feel like maybe they could... I think the Dire team could actually just initiate onto LeBron right now. They don't really know exactly where everyone is. But I feel like you see this 5-position Brew just so far up. I think they can probably just commit on him.
Yeah, he's looking tasty, you know. He doesn't have the rest of his team really nearby. I think they I think they can see at the bottom there a couple. And they've got to figure that they've split up a little bit. Because there's no reason why the 5 should be all the way there by himself. Maybe a little overconfidence, you know, because Brewmaster, a bit tankier of a boy. Tankier than most position 5s. Not usually run as a 5 even, but shall see, you know. All right, here's my bet with you.
He's back, okay.
Now we've got we've got this pause, right? Because Noob, I think it was Noob disconnected. Mm-hmm. Do you think this Brewmaster is dead or not?
I think LeBron is going to immediately
book it out of there.
Start running away. He's going to turn around and he's going to pop his drunken brawler and run away. I'd hope to see that. Unless he's greedy and he's going to try to finish this way. But I'm pretty sure his Thunderclap is mid-cast and it's going to kill those 2 front creeps in front of him. So
I don't know. Because the Tusk does have a Blink Dagger. They might try to just do a quick grab.
I feel like every time I've ever done any like expectation of what an unpause is going to be like, it never happens.
Oh, there it is, the blink forward, the walrus punch. He's disarmed, he's slowed, he's in some shards, and he's just going to be dead.
And that's pretty big because, like I was mentioning, he's the one with the wards in his bag. So now they don't get to get these wards placed out. They will at least take the outpost top with Mitch, so he's got the priority straight. But yeah, they don't get this. They could have just gotten so much vision out and so much control in those last few minutes. And we'll see how Meta4Pro takes advantage of the fact that they did not.
Now my question is, do you think that, because LeBron is the one captaining this team, right? As far as I know.
Yes, I believe so.
Maybe, but I wonder how much of him was just like, why aren't we pushing? Guys, where are you? And just, or if it was just like, oh, that was my bad, guys. I got too overzealous, you know? I'm always interested to know what the comms are like during a situation like that.
Yeah, I mean, they all just full Delta split. I mean, maybe people just weren't listening as well, too, because sometimes that does happen. It's like, all right, guys, let's hit the mid tower, and then it's like, wait, my team's hitting news.
Team? What is it? That's one of the voice lines, right? The Chinese one?
Team?
Where it's just like, where's your team? Duyona or something like that? I don't know. I can't speak Chinese
Duyona,
at all.
I think it is, yeah.
I just remember, I think it was Slacks who did a translation thing with Jack at one point, trying to figure out what they all meant. All right. Puck working on that Ags as expected. Got enough to get at least a couple pieces of it now. But have the smoke on smoke action going on.
Meta4Pro, they're going for this. They're baiting this bounty rune. They baited it.
They baited it perfectly because that's a very dead. Oh
Oh?
By a little bit longer time here, the BKB from Noob. He's gonna get held into place though, tied up with that Bruling. Oh, that feels bad here. DNZ though gets taken down, drops the wards at least. Low skills trapped in them though. That BKB is nice, but it's not gonna help him through that. Mitch though, using the exorcism, he's gonna buy a little bit more time. Eternal Shroud helping him out a little bit, but not enough as he is next to fall. And it looks like LeBron just trying to hightail it out of there. Just use that blink over on Tusk. They're looking, can they find him in time? Oh, just a little bit too slow.
That was a sick bait, though. They had the ward on the high ground there. They see the bounty. They're just waiting for somebody to go for it, and it ends up being the puck. They get a beautiful initiation, beautiful grab. And that's what they're looking to do. Break this team up. Don't let them use their ultimates how they want to. Have them just be on the back foot.
Oh, LeBron, he is so forward, but look at that Chronosphere over onto 4 of them. Pigito, he's trying to put out as much damage as possible. The Slime gets tossed out again, though. Snowball coming in, saves him a little bit longer. Is it going to be enough, though? Because we've got a Weaver who's all hexed up, being held into place. Oh, but he's going to be able to, no, at the last second, he does end up going down on the back lines. Pigito, he finds himself, another kill. Love is going to fall. Noob is just 1v1ing over here with a couple of these creeps, hoping that he gets a little bit of help. But the BKB comes out, follow up with the Dream Coil, and they're just going to try to teleport out, but the bashes are real. That's a triple kill now for Noob, and he wants one more, but he's not going to get it.
Oh, baby. What a jump. That was actually so nice, and just the chain CC they got on the Weaver. I believe it was the Witch's Blade that actually ticked him out at the end when he was running away, just the little pulse damage that it does. For those 3 seconds. Yeah, I think that actually was. That is very significant as, Puck is getting close to that point, that big item that he does need in order to really counter the draft of Meta4Pro with this Aghanims.
Man, I got so nervous when I saw LeBron there because I was like, oh, he's very far forward, and I know that like so many of these guys, they have those blinks online, and they're going to try to kick back. In fact, we can go back. That's the 4-man chrono here, where Thagito just followed up very quickly. And, look at that snowball coming in, trying to buy the Weaver just a little bit more time. He's all hexed up. And you think that, for a split second, when he goes into Kuchis, you think he's going to make it out. But there it is. Just ticks down.
Yeah, the puck, this is why we're seeing this puck picked up a lot here, is people are just going for this, right-click build. You get the damage tone, you get the phase auto attack, you go for your Witchblade, and he's dealing a very significant amount of damage if he doesn't get brought down. He's hitting everybody over and over again for over 200 damage again. It is really potent. And that's what happens. 4-man chrono. Beautiful opportunity seized by Thug.
Definitely perfect timing on that for sure.
And they also got a gem. I believe it was Love who bought a gem earlier on too. So that's going to be pretty relevant versus a Weaver in particular.
Yeah, I'm sure Weaver's very upset about that. Now he needs to be extremely careful, even more so than before.
Yeah, and now, Puck Aghanims. Okay, so now it's going to be just so much harder for Meta4Pro. If they don't get the jump, these fights are going to be pretty impossible for now, it feels like. I feel like Spider Pigs have a huge window for themselves in these next few fights. Having these BKBs at very long durations as well, having this Ag's Puck finished up with this gem. Yeah, and Void, look how tanky Thugito is now too with the Scotty picked up.
It's going to be very difficult for them to take him down. Just continuing to farm up over here on the triangle. Again, I believe it's Noob who's going to be carrying the gem because he is probably going to be the one who jumps forward in a lot of these positions. So you can see that smokes are being purchased on both sides. So we should see some sort of battle very shortly. They keep checking the Roche pit as well.
Yeah, they're finishing a couple items too. I think it's the AC is coming out on the courier for the Mars. Well, Spider Pigs, they're already ready to fight. High ground is already seized. Meta4Pro going toward that bounty rune.
Trying to bait the rune out here. Oh, the smoke on smoke action.
They break Mitch.
Pick up the bounty runes. Zapper, he goes forward, but immediately because it gets Yule's up over here, followed up with the Dream Coil, and they managed to go and get off the arena. There's a whole fight on the other side, though, while this is going down. They managed to go and they take down the Weaver so quickly here, as now they're going to chase after Love. Love, he's managed to go and throw out that ultimate, but it's not going to be enough. The BKBs are out and running here. Zapper trying to get away. He's hexed up, held into place. He's next to fall, and they'll finish it off here with the Exorcism and a kill on the Mars.
Their whole everything is online for them now too, and they didn't get picked off. They're the ones who got the perfect initiation, the good jump. Sure, Pango was the one who jumped in, but the Weaver was isolated on the side and just gets jumped by DNZ and dies 100-0, getting nothing off. Doesn't even get the BKB. Doesn't get any opportunity to pop it. And that's when we're seeing all that Spider Pig's 5-man ultimates come in. And they don't even need to use them all. They still have Chrono for when the fight does kick off, when they respawn too.
And that's going to feel
huge win.
really good. Because how do you approach this now? So you want to get them off of your buildings. And again, everyone's, you know, there's still, first one up is going to be the Grimstroke, but it's still just so hard to fight into a Chronosphere, especially because Thug is just getting more and more powerful and is very, very tanky.
Yeah. And now LeBron, he's got his Ag, so he's got that split already available with that second charge. Coils back up. Yeah, this is definitely looking at like at least 2 sets of racks. And a Roche is going to be up if they do want to back up and go for it. And they will have, like we said, a couple of their ultimates already at the ready to look for the fight.
More of the Dire Heroes are respawning, so be interested to see if they're going to respect it. And it looks like they do. They realize, okay, we managed to get ourselves quite a bit off of that last fight. Let's back up. Let's go check out Roche, possibly. And just, you know, make this nice and tidy. Nice haste rune here picked up for Noob. He'll be able to refill his bottle as well. Several times here, too, because there is still that bounty rune.
Yep. Just backing up all together. Finishing up these items. Thugito is going for, okay, going for an S and Y. He's a little worried about just giving himself a little more status resist.
Oh. Tusk. Oh, they really want to go for this, though, and they'll immediately go leash them up over onto the side. They drop the Dream Coil. They're going to go just give a shove back. The silence over here on the Mars is a bit of a problem. They're trying to just eliminate Mitch as fast as possible. He does not have that Exorcism up. DNC making his way over as well with Thugito. He's waiting to see if he can get himself a nice Chrono, but they're Delta splitting off here to the side. Looks like Love is going to get beat down here by Thugito. A couple of those nice hits. He's down. Followed up now the Hex over here on the side. Mars, he's tanky, but he's not tanky enough. He's got to go and use that because he's trying to run out, and they managed to go and grab him over on the side. So he follows Mars. They use the Chronosphere. They'll be able to take down Low Skill. And they're not even done yet. They're going to chase after this Pangolier. He's silenced up Zipzapper. He's trying to get away, and there's still Mitch over on the other side. Just so much action going on at once. Zipzapper, though, somehow managing to hide over into the tree line. They'll throw out those shards. Doesn't look like they're able to find Zipzapper, but looks like Love again. He's going to get tackled, Hex, all those fun things that a Shadow Shaman likes to do to his prey. And Mitch will just casually throw out the Crypt Swarm, find the kill. Somehow Zipzapper is still alive here. I'm very surprised at that.
They've just been messing with Thugito and LeBron. They were just pushing him away with shards, snowball saving, just spearing away. But either way, 4 of them are going to hit the base right now. Meta4Pro, they don't have much left in the toolkit. Pango ult is ready if he wants to try to commit, but the Serpent Wards are down, and they have to try something. This is the last set of racks. They're going to have to commit.
Well, that's the Rolling Thunder. They're doing something, but the Exorcism does come out from Mitch. The Walrus Punch comes out. They want to try to burst down Mitch if they can, but there are 2 different fights going on right now. Looks like the Mars is making his way over. DNZ blinking forward, though, immediately with the Hex. Spirit Siphon will come out. Cinderbrew dropped onto the ground. Zipzapper now deciding he's just going to have to let his friend die here. They call GG. They realize that there's just nothing that they can do at this point. They're just too big, too scary, and they're ready for the next game.
Yeah, and it looks like the 5-man ultimate draft